Yesterday, the North Gauteng High Court reserved judgment in the case of the Tshwane removal of Mayor Stevens Mokgalapa and Council Speaker Katlego Mathebe. Until judgment is pronounced, the DA runs the municipality. Now, this follows an urgent court application brought by the Democratic Alliance on the 6th of December in a bid to interdict the city of Tshwane from implementing the council's resolution to oust Mayor Stevens Mokgalapa and Council Speaker Katlego Mathebe. The EFF had voted with the ANC to remove Mokgalapa and Mathebe from office. What's the way forward for the DA-run municipality? Well, joining us from our Pretoria studios, we've got the acting Tshwane Mayor, Abel Tau. Good to have you, Acting Mayor. Thanks so much for joining us here on the program.
Good morning, Leanne, and thank you for having us on the program as well.
So let's get your reaction to the reserved judgment. How's the DA feeling?
Look, our feeling has always been the same, that we have full confidence in the justice system in the country. It has proven itself time and time again to be what stands between us and total anarchy and the undermining of our democracy. And we do believe that this time around as well, it will be able to stand firm and be able to ensure that it is the one leg of our democratic dispensation of state that stands in the test of time as it has in previous times.
DA leader John Steenhuisen says, or saying that the party, or he still believes that the party can go into coalitions, but the EFF and the ANC seem to be siding with each other in Tshwane. I mean, what do you know that we perhaps are not seeing here playing out?
Look, I think the confidence that has been shown by the people of Tshwane in our ability to turn a city that was on its knees when we took over in 2016, where we have put systems in place and ensured that not only do we turn around the finances of the city, which were a 1 billion deficit when we took over, to the 735 million in the first year, to allow us to be in a space where we could now really employ people. The skills that were missing in the municipality, I mean, this municipality suffered a brain drain. There was lack of investment in infrastructure that could ensure that we continue in a growth path of economic growth and creating jobs, because for the longest of time, I mean, we will always have a situation where people migrate inwardly into Tshwane and other big or major metros in search of greener pastures. And as a city, we need to respond. And I think that as the DA-led administration, we can honestly say we have done a lot to set the city up into a good footing. So I think all of that at the end of the day is confidence that we believe that we'll be able to talk to everyone else and other partners that come to the party. At the end of the day, it is a council decision. It is a decision of the 214 councillors that sit in the Tshwane Council that puts and removes mayors, and we believe that we will still have the confidence of those councillors to put us there to run this city.
Yeah. As you say, it is up to the council, and the DA still has to face the ANC and the EFF in council for yet another vote in January. Talk to us about this. Look, we are ready. I think there's a lot of work that happens. I do think that sanity will prevail, because I think we are about 18 months from the next local government elections. And more than anything, it becomes important not only for the parties in council, but also for the electorate to get a proper assessment. I think one of the issues that was raised with the changes that happened in Johannesburg was that how do you then assess the effectiveness or lack thereof of those who have been running the city if you do not give them an opportunity to complete what they had started. And I think it would be only fair and proper that we get to finish what we have started in 2016. That's the commitment we made to the people of Tshwane, and we'll continue to stand by that commitment. And hence, even when people raise the issue to say, why do you want to go through with challenging this in court and all other issues, we simply understand the fact that there are people of Tshwane who voted in their majority for us to lead them in this term, and we want to do that until the end. But over and above that, we are a party of the rule of law, and we obviously hope that at the end of the day, things will be done in accordance with the rules and orders of council, but also that comply with the constitution of this country. I know you talk about it being a party that obeys the rules of law. What's happening with regard to the investigations into Stevens Mokgalapa?
I know that the investigations have been completed by now. It is a process that is completely independent. As you know, that the Democratic Alliance has the Federal Legal Commission, which is led by Advocate Glenys Breitenbach, and we don't have privy to most of what happens, except, you know, the understanding of the processes that are there. I do have a belief that we all want to conclude the matter as quickly as possible, and basically the matter rests with the Federal Legal Commission at this stage, which I believe that over and above the fact that they are a competent body that would obviously want to ensure that there's fairness in how this matter is handled, we as the city, on the other hand, have all the support that we can have. I mean, I know that for a fact. I have a number of people who've been working, I mean, all the MMCs and the executive that is there has worked, all of us, with the executive mayor, and we continue to get the support to be able to push and raise the city to the next level.
Yeah. I know that there was, you know, quite scathing comments that were sent from the Gauteng a premier that was talking on behalf of what he was seeing, David Makura, within the different municipalities. And I'll talk to Tshwane. What he was basically saying is that there is administration and governance chaos in the city, and all surveys point to the fact that service delivery has taken a deep knock and the residents are suffering. Since then, and since that warning was issued, what's happened?
Since then, and since that warning was issued, Leanne, we have been able to demonstrate that we have been prudent in doing our work. We have, like we always said, received a city that honestly has not been investing in infrastructure that would have allowed for services to flow. Just recently, we had rolling power failures across the city, and those were caused, number one, by the fact that our infrastructure is not designed for the current conditions that it finds itself working in. I mean, the Kwacha power station is a typical example where it was not designed for the switching on and off, and because of the switching on and off that happened with the load shedding, it burned down. And trust me, an infeed station that carries about 60% of the city and about 75% of the economic heart or activity that happens is carried by that infeed station. For us to have had a fire at 1 a.m. in the morning and have residents back online at 10 a.m. the very same day tells you about the dedication and obviously the amount of work that goes in and our ability to be able to deliver services. I mean, there's a lot that we have done and we continue to do that we feel that we are being judged unfairly high. Obviously, we have set ourselves a very high standards and the bar is raised too high, but that does not mean that at the end of the day we need to look down on the good work that is being done, and there's a lot of good work that is being done. We have faced up to the challenges. We have ensured that we go out to communities and communicate with them to explain the situation, but over and above that, we have put systems in place to ensure that we mitigate the challenges that are posed by the lack of investment that has happened over the years. When we took over, this city was 8 billion rand behind in terms of infrastructure upgrade, and you deal with a capex budget of 1.6 billion, you will never catch up. But this administration has found innovative ways, partnered with other private sector to ensure that we continue to improve service delivery for the residents of the city.
Okay, Acting Mayor, just unfortunately due to time, this has to be my final question to you, but you talk about how you've turned things around and how good things are, but I mean, let's just talk recently now. Even since the heavy rains that we had 2 weeks ago, there's been power outages across the entire Tshwane metro, and residents are angry that some haven't even had power for more than 10 days now. There's also been reports that there's a water pipe that burst, leading to an 8-month water crisis. So as much as you tell us how well you are doing, there are massive issues within the metro that you're governing, and it can't all be due to what you've inherited. These are crises that are happening now.
Yeah, you are correct. Some of these issues, we confront them now, but we are up to the task. The pipeline obviously has been washed away by the recent floods, and I was talking to a group of people saying one of the things that we now have to do is to ensure that we lead the community of Tshwane to understand that climate change is here to stay and it is with us, and for that reason we need to be steadfast in ensuring that we adapt as quickly as possibly we can as a city ability to adapt to climate change and obviously being a more resilient city. But the pipeline that has broken down in Cullinan that led to water shortages, number one, we have put systems in place to ensure that residents can get water in the interim, which we, day before yesterday, I had a community meeting that went well because they understand what we are doing. But over and above that, I've had to partner with the mine that is there together with Makali's Water, and we're working around the clock to ensure that we get water running in taps as soon as Christmas if possible. The engineers are saying they'll give me 2 to 3 weeks. We are putting up a temporary pump station across the river to be able to abstract, and then the work of the 8-month work that needs to be done to refurbish and obviously restore the old pipeline would continue. So for me, I am confident that a lot is being done, because if you can look at a situation that would have taken 8 months and you can reduce it to about 3 weeks, then that talks of a government that is steadfast in looking for new innovative ways to find solutions. Similar with the issue of electricity, I mean, we have managed to get now 95% of the customers back online, and we are continuing to invest in the infrastructure that is obviously dilapidated to ensure that we don't find ourselves here. So we are confident that our plans are obviously measurable and can give us the results.
All right, we leave it there. Acting Tshwane Mayor Abel Tau talking to us about governance issues within Tshwane, and also the North Gauteng High Court reserving judgment in the case of the Tshwane removal of Mayor Stevens Mokgalapa and Council Speaker Katlego Mathebe. Until judgment is pronounced, the DA runs the municipality. Let's take a break.